Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angryprepper. So today's video, we're going to talk about a possible dirty device in New York City. Now, it is still a rumor. There is no confirmation whatsoever. Though a guy named Israel News Live stated that it was diffused in the city. Now, I just found out about this guy probably a couple months ago, if not maybe a year. And in the last video he did, he mentioned my name and people sent me the video and I watched the video and I'm like, oh, all right, very good. To back that video up, guys, the plausibility of a dirty device being in New York City is very high. And it only came to me as being very high after I spoke to somebody who worked downtown. I can't tell you what agency he worked for, but I can tell you that we spoke. And I can tell you that he did not deny or confirm of such device. Now, knowing the guy for about 20 years or so, we have had conversations over the years about many things. He wasn't able to tell me right then and there whether it was or not. And I had asked him the first time, hey, is there a dirty device in the city? And he doesn't answer. But then he answers about devices and packages being sent throughout the city because of the whole Roe versus Wade. So I asked him again, hey, there's a rumor about a dirty device being diffused. Is that true? He doesn't answer. So right then and there, that tells me that something is up. Okay. The next day, I go back to the messaging to message him something else, and the conversation was gone. That was telling to me. That was actually loud and telling to me. And I was like, all right, then the possibility of a device being in the city was very high. With that, guys, I had asked him a week ago about a nuclear attack being a possibility, and he said no. The emergency management office just put that out because they were bored. And I'm like, well, how do you know that? And he goes, because we know their shtick, we know their game. I'm like, all right. So he tells me that, but then asking him the question about a dirty device, and he goes silent. Now, this guy would have told me no, that's bullshit, it's a rumor, or he would have fucking lied to me and told me no, rather, and he would have told me yes. Now, being that he can't tell me yes, and he didn't say no, and he deleted the conversation, to me that was a yes. But again, that's me speculating, and that's me coming up with my own conclusions. I am not saying that there was, but with an irresponsible nuclear PSA preparedness video and then a bug out video a week or 2 weeks later, the conclusion is looking like, and very highly, that there was a dirty device in the city and it was diffused. Now, I did look on Citizen app and I didn't see unknown police activity anywhere in the city. So that was the other problem I was having, because normally, guys, when like 3 cop cars get together, people are filming the cops. Oh, what are they doing? And then they put it on Citizen app. There was no such thing, or at least I couldn't find it on Citizen app. So either it was a low-key event and they got it shut down, or it was a high-key event and just no one really reported it on Citizen. There is that. Now, the reason I talk about this, guys, because in the past, the city has always misreported or not reported certain events at all. And I remember being an EMT and a fireman, and certain things went down, and I'm like, yo, why didn't they report that? Well, because they didn't want to get the city riled up, or they didn't want to speak bad about a person. For example, Sean Bell, right? That's the guy that was at the strip club that got shot by the cops and they couldn't find the gun and all the scoopla. Well, Sean Bell was actually a notorious drug dealer in his area, but they paint him out to be a national hero, at least here in New York City. So much that they gave him a street. They named the street after a notorious drug dealer. How's that for fucking not reporting the right news? So again, guys, we get misleaded all the time. We get misleaded, for example, 9/11. There was a specific event that happened the day after, and I was actually the EMT on the call for this. And there was supposedly a white van on the George Washington Bridge with a few devices on it. You know what they are. I don't have to say it. With that, guys, we sat on there for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and then we were told to leave. It was all clear and we can go. So we left. But interestingly enough, there was certain devices on that van, but it was never confirmed in the news. Now, it does make sense because it was the day after 2 buildings came down, or rather 4 buildings came down. And with that, everybody was focused on what was going on downtown and not bringing attention to the possibility of another attack coming in a day later. That was never mentioned. Again, we all know, guys, that the media is controlled by whoever wants to control it and however they want to control it. And being that certain things are not mentioned and other things are, we know, guys, that they can steer us in the direction they want us to go in, basically. Or rather, the information they want out, they will tell us, and the information they don't want out, they don't tell us. Now, that is not saying to be a conspiracy theorist about everything and look at everything like, what the fuck? Did that guy really die by getting shot by, a drug dealer, or was his wife? No, we don't question everything, guys. We just take certain things with a grain of salt. And anything that the media reports to us, we take it all with a grain of salt. But you still got to sift through it. Like if a kid here in the city gets shot and they report it, guess what? The kid in the city got shot because if you go to that area, there's a memorial. His mother's fucking outside crying with fucking Al Sharpton on the shoulders. So there's always that you can see. But guys, when it comes to things like this and they don't report it, I always find that to be a problem, because it would have been nice to know that, all right, there was a possibility that people, wherever this device was, could have died. And maybe they want to stay out of that area. Because normally when you plant a device like that, it's in a highly populated area like 42nd Street, 34th Street, downtown 14th Street. Those are the areas that would normally be targeted, amongst others. There are other areas throughout the city that you would target as well. But guys, this was just my speculation, or me speculating on what was in the city and the high probability of it. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I am not saying there was, but I am definitely not saying there wasn't. I'm just saying I came to this conclusion, and I'm throwing this information out there for you guys to come to your own conclusion. Other than that, guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.